Hey, friendo, Steve here, and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. For one thing, I know it's been a little while since I've done anything on this channel. I kind of have some plans going on up inside my head for things that I want to do with the channel, and I'm sort of working on that piece by piece. So I'm kind of excited about that, but I'm not gonna. It's not ready right now. It's not ready, but things will come back to this channel. But I figured, hey, I'm gonna go see Death Wish. And so I figured I'd do a review on it because why not, right? I mean, it's something. So yeah, actually, funny story. I went to go see Black Panther at that same theater 2 weeks ago. And I thought that I'd lost my debit card in the seat that I was sitting in. And nobody's used it. There hasn't been any activity on it. I need to close it out. But I was like, you know what? It's probably because I think I remember putting it in my pocket. And then I thought that maybe I put some like napkins in there and then it fell out, and that's what happened to it. And so I basically just went and watched this movie so that I could get in that same seat and see if my debit card was maybe at the bottom of it. It wasn't. I still don't know where my debit card is. Interesting though, when I did take a look under the seat, somebody left a little watch, like a lady's watch down there, but it was too far back and I didn't want to be like, ugh. Anyways, I don't know why a watch would be down. That's kind of weird. Anyways, Death Wish. Very entertaining movie. I'm going to totally spoil some stuff, but it's Death Wish. You know what it's about. A guy's family gets, killed, and then he goes on a rampage looking for the people who did it because the cops don't do shit. It's just these movies are, the old Charles Bronson movies. I don't think I've ever actually seen a Death Wish movie, but you always know what they're about. He walks around and waits for crime to happen. He's a vigilante and he kills people. Joe Carnahan, who actually is from Sacramento, same as me, wrote the movie, a screenplay from him. He's done some really, really fantastic movies. I'm trying to remember. Narc, I think, was a Joe Carnahan movie. That was a really good one. And then I think he did a couple others. He was supposed to do Mission Impossible, but then he dropped out of that. But anyways, and then Eli Roth, who I love Eli Roth, the Hostel movies guy. I met him once. Really cool guy, really nice guy. He directed it. And so I was looking forward to it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Bruce Willis starring as, in the Charles Bronson roles, a guy whose family gets killed or whatever. It was an entertaining movie. It's exactly what you think it's gonna be. I'm not sure how many people I went on like an 11. It was like an 11 o'clock showing on the Friday it came out. It's today. And it was me and like maybe 20 other people in the theater with me. It's not like this isn't like a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie where everybody's jam-packed in there at all the screenings. I'm not sure how well done. This is an aside, and I don't care about box office stuff. I care about the quality of film. I don't think this movie's going to do terribly well because it does fetishize, glorifies maybe. Its entertainment value comes out of a lot of violence and gunplay. And the climate we're in right now, I'm just not sure people are going to be super geeked to go to a movie that has that type of entertainment in it, where just guns are just shooting at it. And there's all sorts of great shots of guns, and he's like putting it together and cleaning it and everything. People are kind of put off by guns. Just, there's a whole debate in this country right now that I'm not even going to get into, but just the topic is just everywhere right now. I'm not sure how many people are really going to want to go see this movie because of that, which is a shame because it's actually a pretty entertaining movie. There's a place in pop culture for these kinds of movies. I think they're fantastic. They can be fantastic. They could be a lot of fun. They could be very satisfying. Weird thing. So this movie, the movie theater I was in, it was me and, like I said, around 20 other people, if that. I swear, I was the youngest person there. Everybody else was like super old and super white. And I don't, that's great. I'm not, criticizing or anything just for being old and white. But it was kind of weird when I was walking out. Like I overheard these really old ladies saying, oh, I really love those kinds of movies. And I'm like, what kind of movies are you talking about? Where an old white guy goes around shooting a bunch of criminals? Oh, old people, what are you doing? But the funny thing is, my grandpa was the exact same way. The only thing I ever knew about my grandpa in terms of what his movie tastes were, he told my dad once, have you ever seen those Death Wish movies? They're so satisfying. I don't know what that's about. I find it hilarious that this is the kind of movie that caters to like the 65 and older crowd. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. I found it fascinating that, you know, my grandpa said this ages, like a decade ago, or like longer than that. He's gone now. But he mentioned that like ages ago. It was the only thing I knew about him in terms of his what he liked in movies was that he loved the Death Wish movies. And here I was with a bunch of grandparents, and they're all coming out of there all super happy that Bruce Willis, you know, was able to kill a bunch of criminals. Anyways, maybe just the older you get, the more you don't like other people. And you just want to, I don't know what it is. Anyways, there's not a lot to tell in terms of the story. I mean, you guys know what it is. It's a Death Wish. Bruce Willis plays a doctor who, you know, somebody finds out, this car valet guy finds out that his family's going to be out at dinner on a particular night, and then plans get changed. So just Bruce Willis, the doctor, is at the hospital, and his family is still there, and his family's like his teenage daughter's about to go off to college, and his wife, and some robbers are there, and they end up robbing them and then killing them. And then Bruce Willis, after being really frustrated by the cops, goes out and becomes like a vigilante. And he wears, it's the same thing, the same description they always give him. It's an old white guy in a hoodie. So I decided to wear my hoodie for this review. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the gist of the movie. And then in the end, I'll spoil this if you don't want it spoiled. He gets away with it because the cop that he's dealing with, who's the cop from Breaking Bad, he's great. Kind of realize, he knows that it's him. But in the end, like the final guy gets killed because he goes into Bruce Willis's house and Bruce Willis defends himself and kills the guy. And so there's kind of a wink and a nod. Oh, you've only killed bad people, so it's okay that you've done this. Because along the way, Bruce Willis kills a couple other people who aren't, you know, related to the murders, but you know they're still bad people. So that's the movie. It was a solid flick. Eli Roth is a solid director. This was a solid movie. My only real complaint about it is that it could have been a bit more exploitative. He didn't go overboard with the wife getting killed. He didn't do that. Eli Roth didn't do that. I feel like that might have, with these kinds of movies, you're supposed to be really pissed off. And then when Bruce Willis kills the bad guys, that gives you this super sense of satisfaction that he's doing that. And so the initial like robbers killing the family wasn't as exploitative as maybe it should have been to generate the responses that he was going for. Second, the rest of the movie wasn't as exploitative as it could have been. I don't remember, like I said, I didn't see the original Death Wishes, but you want these guys, this is the point of the movie, is to watch Bruce Willis enact vengeance. And you want there to be a bit more suffering. And it's Eli Roth who's like a master of, like, if you watch the Hostel movies, which I think are very entertaining. A lot of people have problems with them. I think they're entertaining movies. They're just movies. He's really, really good at the what do they call it? The gore porn, what do they call it? The torture porn, There was one scene, and you saw it in the trailers, where he takes the jack out from under the car, and the dude's under there, and it crushes him. The bottom line is, I just think there should have been more gore. And the bad guys in this type of movie should have suffered more. There's a lot of quick deaths. I mean, that might sound sick, but that's the point of these movies. Or these kinds of movies traditionally anyways. There was one sort of torture scene where Bruce Willis, like, you know, tortures the guy for info. But beyond that, there wasn't really much. There wasn't really much tension. It's actually, I mean, to be honest, it's actually kind of a sweet movie. It's not that cynical a movie. It's not that pessimistic of a movie. There are no like real assholes besides the people. Like, the cops are cool. Bruce Willis is cool. His brother, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, super cool. It's actually kind of a sweet movie. There's not really a whole lot of cynicism to it, which is kind of interesting. They do touch a little bit on, you know, how the public, how society would sort of start picking up on this, because one of his first sort of act of you know, vigilante justice goes viral. Somebody's taking a video of him. And so, yeah, I don't know. I thought it could have been a bit more exploitative. You want these bad guys to suffer. That's kind of the point of them. And so I think Eli Roth, a guy who's known for being able to be very creative with torture scenarios. I can't believe I'm saying that. I felt like he could have gone a little bit further. I'm not sure what the story behind this is, if this was kind of a paycheck for him or if this is something he was really interested in, if there's like a director's cut of the movie somewhere where, you know, he does go a little bit more with the blood and guts. That's, you know, I think that could have been done. Again, in the climate that we're in right now, I'm not sure that would have generated more box office, but it would have been the kind of thing that people would have been maybe a bit, you know, more buzzy about in this case. But in any event, I mean, it was a solid flick. It's an entertaining movie. You know what you're getting. It's Death Wish. And so, so yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool. That's my review. There you go. I had some popcorn during it, and I got to dig onto kernels out of my teeth. The thing about getting older, man, is that I think your gums recede, and so it helps food get stuck in them even more. So I'm going to go floss. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And until next time, I'll talk to you. Keep an eye on this channel. Don't leave this channel. There's going to be stuff coming up. Just trying to figure things out a little bit. Anyways, till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.